Welcome back to FMScout with me, Keepers, and guys, today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be doing if every single Premier League club was rich. Now what that consists of is genuinely what it says on the tin. Every single team in the Premier League here are stinking rich, unbelievably rich. So if you look at the estimated values here, a couple of them are inflated, so you can see Aston Villa, well, some of them are, some of them aren't, but the ones that are noticeable are players like, or teams like Leicester, now worth 714 million. One that really stood out was Newcastle, now being worth 1.21 billion, and all the rest of it. But the only one that shocked me was West Ham are now 120 million, but they all have 1 million wage budget, and I'm not entirely sure how much transfer budget. We can check that right now. Let's go West Ham and quickly see how much money we have, and this goes for all the teams in the league. So we can go here. Yep, they all have a transfer budget of just under 400 million and a wage budget of just over 1. Is that 1 million? Or is that... Yeah, no. That's 1 billion. Never mind. So, we're going to go ahead. Let's just retire from... Or, well, we can at least resign. Can we actually resign? I thought you could resign. You know, fine, we'll just fucking retire. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead... Oh, well, no, you can see my real name. We're going to go ahead, start unemployed, and see how the league goes when every single team has an incredible amount of money. Now, that should make it more fair or more even, but then again, you can think about it in the way of, oh, but that means the rich teams have even more money and they can just buy loads of players. And reputation of each club comes into account as well. So obviously the top teams like Manchester City, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs all have a higher reputation than teams like Norwich and teams like Bournemouth. So obviously players aren't going to want to go to those teams compared to the ones with the bigger money, but it does make it more fair in terms of everyone gets the same amount of money and the same amount of wage budget, and it's just an experiment to see how they're going to go and spend that money and how it affects the league. So before we go any further, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe to FMScout, and also please make sure to go ahead and check my channel. The link will be in the description below. You can come over, have a little bit of fun on there. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll see what happens in the very first season. And we're back, guys. After the first season, we need to find out who's won the Premier League and what transfers have been made and who spent the most money. Everything in terms of transfers and money, we're going to find out right now. So I'm going to quickly go here, just Premier Division, who won it. It's not actually that surprising, it's pretty standard to be fair. Chelsea running away with the league with 80 points, followed by Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Tottenham, then Arsenal in 6th. And the rest I'm not really that surprised about. The only thing I'm surprised about that hits me straight away is Solomon Rondon finishing with top goal scorer with 22 goals at West Brom. But I don't really is this really... Has Roberto Mancini, was he Norwich manager? It just said that he was he? No, not career stats. How do I just check how, I don't care. It's, yep, hired as Norwich manager, sacked as Norwich manager. So that's pretty surprising. Roberto Mancini away to Norwich. But that's not what we're looking at. What we're going to look at now is the transfers, but first of all, team detail. Let's go right down to the bottom. Now, net transfer spend. The top 5 are Everton, Man City, West Brom, Southampton and West Ham. So we want to see these top teams, who have they went ahead and bought. Everton have spent the most money in this. They spent 166 million. I mean, look at this. They got one person on a free. That was Sondre Rosbach. I don't know. Who's their most expensive player? It was Andriy Yarmolenko from Dynamo Kiev, the attacking winger. Actually very, very fantastic. So well rounded, but does come at a price of 36 million. Went ahead and bought Dominic Berardi as well. First season and did not really do too well in terms of, he is an out and out striker kind of and a kind of winger, but he can definitely score some goals. Only 8 goals in 18 games, but did get 5 assists, and he has got an average rating of 7.2. Who else? Sylvain Widmer. I can't say that I've heard of him before either. 20 million. This has changed. There we go. Yassin Brahimi, I do know about him. Let's see how he got on. only played 11 games. Why would you go ahead, pay £27 million for a player and then just not play him? I have no idea. Went ahead and bought Fred from Shakhtar. Sylvain Widmer I've already spoke about. Joel Matip, solid centre half, one of the best you can get at the current level. Luan from Atletico Mineiro, one definitely. Well, I was going to say for the future, then I realised he was 25. And then got Sondre Rosbach. Was he our starting keeper? Not their starting keeper, but 11 games. And now let's go back again. Man City, that's normal for them to be in the top 5 of most net spent, but they spent 154 million. Jose Gaya from Valencia. Went ahead and bought Gareth Bale from Real Madrid. So he was only at Madrid for 2 seasons, and he 16 games, 4 goals, average rating of 7. You'd expect him to do a lot better. And also went ahead and bought Raja Nainggolan from Roma, Felipe Anderson from Lazio, and then Ante Coric, again one for the future from Dynamo. Felipe Anderson, how did he get on? 19 games, 2 goals. Okay, I suppose that's an okay kind of rating, but definitely he'll go in that slot in the winger role sometime soon, hopefully in the next few seasons. West Brom, I actually think I saw there. Wait, if we go right down to the bottom, I'm sure I saw West Brom in the salary. No, they're only 7th. So West Brom, where did they finish? 8th. And they were 3rd most in terms of spent money. They spent 163 million. Went in and actually bought Mahrez from Leicester for 27 million. But Daniele Rugani from Juventus, geez, he's actually incredibly good for West Brom standard. Not saying that West Brom have a bad standard, but I'm just saying for a kind of high, kind of mid-table club. Bought Dele Alli from Tottenham for 21 million. How did he get on? 15 games, average rating of 6.5. That's quite disappointing. But Mahrez, how did he get on? 32 games, 4 goals, 10 assists. Fantastic, but somehow average rating of 6.9. You expect him to do a little bit better. We're going to speed through this a little bit. Alexander Cochrane, the striker, 25. Well, you bought for 16 million. Origi for 14 million. Lucas Pratt. A lot of strikers are buying in, and they ended up getting Rondon at top goal scorer. Again, another kind of winger striker. Ignacio Abate, the right back. Michael Keane from Burnley for 9 million. Asia Mande from Stade de Reims for 8 million. Chris Ginter, he's actually really, really good in this game. Emmanuel Mas, I thought he was one for the future. I've not heard of him either, but he's actually really good, especially physicals. Kieran Trippier from Tottenham. Fred Onyed, not even going to bother saying that. And then Connor Mahoney. Then, they actually sold Berahino to Chelsea for 22 million. And let us go back and see Southampton. How have they got on? Transfer history, they only spent 127 million. The best was actually Mauro Icardi, 36 million. Again, 17 games and 9 goals. You'd expect him to do 100 times better than that. He's one of the best strikers you can get in the game. And I mean, went ahead about Ruben Neves as well. He's definitely going to produce to be one of the best central or defensive midfielders in the game. Again, they're not getting much game time, but then again, he is 19 years old. But Jordan Ibe for 21 million, Johnny for 15, Nicolas Ansoni for 11 million, Jordi Amat, oh dear, for 11 million. Sebastian Cochilla, fantastic right back in this game for 6 million, and then Everton for 800k, one for the future as well. And then a lot of these teams don't sell a lot of players, but they do go ahead and buy a shit ton. So transfer history for West Ham, the last one, 116 million. They actually bought Bazoer from Ajax for 22 million. Franco Vazquez, again, a fantastic attacking midfielder. I've used him last year in FM. Haris Seferovic, Cotin Tolisso, Milko Albornoz, Gansel Ednilson, Lucas Leiva from Liverpool for 7 million. I would not have paid that much for him. Gabriel Paulista, he's just joined Arsenal. Well, yeah, he's played a total of 11 games for Arsenal and they've already bought him. And Tolisso again? I'm sure I saw him in... I have no idea. But before we go on any further as well, who has spent the most in terms of wages? We won't look at the top 5 this time, but we will look at Bournemouth, who are second. I mean, how much are they paying other players? Sebastian Giovinco, what? 300 grand a week for Sebastian Giovinco. I can't believe 300k a week. No wonder they're on 300k a week. 300k a week. How's he worth 300k a week? How's Ordetz worth 300k a week? Anyone else on 300k? Mohamed Diame 300k. Maran Fellaini 300k. Ziyech 400k. Pato 300. No wonder they're in the top. Damari Gray Okay, let's see. Yep, 11 games for a player on 300 grand a week. That is absolutely shocking. I don't get that at all. And finally, we're going to look at transfers and let's see who has been the biggest spent. It was Gareth Bale to Man City, Higuain to Arsenal for 49 million, Icardi, which we saw for 36. We saw Yarmolenko for 36 as well. Aymeric Laporte for 35 to Man United. We've seen Gaia in England. Berardi we've seen. Bernard for 33 million to Newcastle. Munir to Leicester for 31 million. Philippe Anderson we've seen. Brahimi we've seen. Mahrez we've seen. Volland to Liverpool for 26 million. Ruben Neves we've seen. Morata for 25 million to Chelsea. Callum Chambers to Norwich. Guys, it's just so many quality players have now joined the Premier League, which hopefully in the next season will make it a little bit more competitive. But as you can see, it wasn't the most competitive this year, but Aston Villa, Stoke and Watford are going down, but I'm assuming they're going to come straight back up with the amount of money they have. So we'll come back in maybe one more season, or maybe two, maybe three, I'm not sure yet, but I will see you in the future. Okay, and we're back. We've gone actually 3 more seasons into the future. So we've done 4 seasons overall, I think. Yeah, 4 seasons overall. We'll quickly go ahead and see how it all pans out in the last 4 years. So, stages. Let's go all the way back to the first season. Chelsea won it. Nothing really changed is what we saw. Then, the next year, Man United... Wait, have we saw this one already? No. Have we? I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. Anyway, second season, Man United won it with 87 points. Any upsets there? Not really. Southampton are quite low down. Anyone surprising? Not really. Again, second season, exactly the same as you'd expect. And can we see the transfers of that season? 2016 to 2017. The highest transfers. Oh my. Mario Götze to Swansea for 46 million. And how did Swansea didn't even do that well that year, even with Mario Götze? Baldi Keita to West Brom for 37 million. Ricardo Rodriguez to Man United. Luciano Vieto to Liverpool. And he is now at Arsenal, it seems. Yeah, he is. Bruno Fernandes to Southampton for 29 million. Hakim Ziyech from Bournemouth actually bought him and then sold him on to Tottenham. Anyone else that's really huge to look at here. Wilfred Boney bought back by Swansea from Man City for 27 million, so a good piece of business there if you ask me. Bournemouth, Shaqiri gone to Bournemouth. No other really surprising ones. John Guidetti, former Celtic man, went to Everton. And no one else really. Umtiti goes to Arsenal. No other big... Tielemans actually went to Leicester. And his stats are definitely improving, but he's just not worth that much money at the moment. And if we go on, see the stages of the next season, 2017-2018, you can see that Chelsea won it. So the past 3 years, Chelsea have won it twice and Man United have won it once. Man United fall down to 3rd. Any other big upsets this time? Again, not really, other than Tottenham and Liverpool have kind of switched about. But again, teams are climbing up, but most of them are just kind of getting relegated, coming back up again. So not much has really changed, which is annoying. But 2017 to 2018... Paul Pogba to Manchester United for 58 million. I think that's pretty cheap for him. I don't think that would ever happen in real life. If it did happen, it would be for much, much more. Ayoze Perez to Southampton for 39 million. Lukaku to Tottenham. Dragovic to Chelsea. Dragovic? Yeah, he's a centre back. Marco Pajak. Is it just Xhaka? I think it might just be Xhaka to Tottenham. Boufal to Southampton. Again, Goretzka to West Brom. In fact, Goretzka turns out to be one of the best defensive mids in the game. I'm sure he is a defensive mid. Well, centre mid, defensive mid. One of the best in the game. Anyone else? Rodrigo de Paul to Southampton. Bernardeschi to Leicester. Will Hughes to West Brom. Everyone else, any other huge names? Is that the right mid, Lucas? No, it's not. It's the left back, Lucas. Lacazette to Southampton for 15 million from Real Madrid. Balotelli to Leicester. So you can see a lot of big names are going to kind of smaller clubs. Either Fossum to Lazio. In fact, West Ham ended up selling him. Fossum again comes out as one of the best centre mids in the game if you develop him properly. But going on from that, the next season after, this is when things began to get a little bit interesting. So Man United have now won it again. So it's 2 each between Man United and Chelsea. Chelsea dropped right down to 6th. Tottenham dropped down to 11th. And the rest of the teams start building up. Southampton come 3rd. Well, quite a bit off 2nd. But Southampton and Everton come 3rd and 4th. Anyone else? West Brom are high up there, same with Swansea. Anyone? Not really big relegation. But in that season, who won? Who got, let me see the playoffs for, or the league table for the Championship. Yep, they're just coming straight back up. Apart from Stoke, Aston Villa. Is that the rest of the Premier League clubs? Yes, it is indeed. So, 93 points, that's unbelievable. Only lost 5 games and drawn 3. And the 5 games they lost were against teams who are doing very, very well. Liverpool, Tottenham and Southampton. You can see Southampton came 3rd. Liverpool 8th, and I suppose Tottenham 11th aren't doing the best, but even still. Have we looked at the transfers for that? Was that the current season? Are we at the current season already? Yes, so it was Chelsea, Man United, and is now Man United right this season. And the transfers for this current season is, who is the most expensive? 39 million, Berardi to Manchester United. Who bought Berardi in the first place? Oh, was it Everton? I thought that. I had a feeling it was Stoke. Ual Cheek, however the fuck you say that name, to Southampton. Oscar Nielsen, who is that? Oh, it's a regen. They're actually getting regens in now for 33 million. Nicholas Shirley to Stoke. Again, you can see the pattern that they're all getting paid huge amount of money. Callum Chambers to Stoke. Again, Sissoko. Why is Sissoko going for that much? I could not tell you. 29 years old. Tim Jedvaj, Rudiger, Gabbiadini, Simeone Zaza. It's just unbelievable the amount of big money transfers that have gotten made when everyone has so much money. So, in saying that, that's going to be the end of this experiment. It might not have gone the way you might have thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be topsy-turvy. Loads of teams are going to be challenging for the title, but... And that's what experiments do. You find out what would happen. Obviously, this isn't set in stone. This is just a simulation. This is possibly of what might happen. So, in this, if every Premier League team were filthy rich, things would probably stay round about the same, because they do spend quite a lot of money as it is, and they do spend absolute bomb in wages. So we just upped that a little bit, and they just kind of went crazy with the wages and crazy with the transfers. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, then please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, it's in the description, and subscribe to FMScout as well. Hopefully I'll see you over on my channel, and before then, I just want to say thank you, and I'll see you on the next episode. And remember, finders keepers, losers weepers.